Good day, viewers. You are welcome to another exciting edition of our program, Political Insight. And of course, we are having a special edition which we tag Road to Edo 2024. And of course, we have been looking at the issues, that are coming up with regards to the election. A lot is happening. Candidates are making last-minute preparation for this particular election, just as electorates are also trying to make last-minute decisions as to the candidate they will cast their vote for. So a whole lot is happening. And then we also have the electoral umpire, talking about INEC, also expressing their commitment and their readiness to conduct free, fair, and credible election. And of course, we've also gotten a reassurance from the security agents, as led by the IGP, Inspector General of Police, that they are ready to ensure that this election is heat-free. Of course, the candidates are making last-minute soup to ensure that they are able to get at least good supporters, going to Saturday election. Just as the electorate too are also making last-minute decision on who to vote for. All right, so this special edition, we have a very special personality in our studio. By that singular action, I'm talking about the refusal of PDP to sign the peace accords, that it all points to the fact that PDP, they're actually battle ready for the election, that they're going to go violent. So,
well, you can take it from me as a spokesman for the campaign that we are crusaders of peace. Crusaders of peace. The reason why you should know we are crusaders of peace is that if we didn't take that action, the level and height of the violence as of today, you and I might not be sitting here. The alternative we had was that as they are arresting our own members, we should also attack their members. We didn't take that alternative. The second alternative we have is that the way they are supplying people like Blessing Agbomere, false police uniform, we should do the same thing. We didn't take that alternative. We came out to tell the world we are under oppression. There is no peace in Edo. We are crusaders of peace. If a husband and wife are having what they call acrimonious relationship, and the woman is hiding it from the family, you know what happens? One day the family will be called to come and carry her corpse. There are relationships where the woman should tell somebody, tell your family or tell the family of the man, this man beats me every night. One day he will hit me in the wrong place. So expose it so that there will be settlement. When there is settlement, there's peace. So what we are saying is that we are giving conditional boycott. There's a precondition. It's a law, a cause and effect relationship we are dealing with here. There's a first cause. The first cause is the acrimony that the APC introduced into the campaign that was going smoothly. We want that acrimony settled by higher powers and higher authority. And the only way to do that is to bring it to the fore. So we are actually waiting for that occasion to cry out to the world. And that is why now for the past few days, they have not arrested anybody again. And we don't have another Blessing Agbomere in military uniform this time, spewing out hate speech. So authorities are dealing with it. You heard himself, the respected ex-head of state, say to you, he gave assurance. He said they will sign later if certain conditions are met. He said it publicly in the air.
Yeah.
So that told you that we expressed to him very clearly our conditions.
Okay.
Yes.
So prior to that peace accord section, a day before when they had stakeholder section, I was at that particular meeting when opportunities were given to parties, candidates, and even civil society group to express their concern concerning this election. And the chairman of PDP actually voiced this out that very day. And then we expected that, okay, the IGP was right there at that particular meeting. So many will say, okay, that's even enough. And then that very day, that's the day that the accords was done, opportunity was also given for them to also re-echo that concern once again. But they just swept that aside. And aside that, the former head of state personally visited the governor. So one would have thought that, okay, these people have really come far, okay, that respect should have been given. So many are seeing that as a disrespect. After the head of state visiting you, you still went ahead, okay, I won't do this and all of that.
That is why people lose cases in court. They think that the law, once emotions and sentiments have been assuaged, then it means justice has been done. No. Peace is not an abstraction. It's a reality, a concrete reality that can be seen and felt. So also is anarchy. And whatever is standing in the way of peace is trouble, is anarchy. We are saying, remove what is in the way of peace. If I slap you once and I say, I'm sorry, I mollify you by robbing the place. What you understand that by I am sorry is that I will slap you again. If after slapping you and I say I'm sorry, we continue the discussion and I slap you again and I say I'm sorry, and then I slap you the third time, you will now wait until I stop slapping you before you will believe my next I am sorry. So we raise before the IGP concrete issues. It is not something to be rhetorical about. We are not flattered by the IG's presence. The IG is the IG of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, paid by the taxes to which Edo State is a high contributor. We are happy with his presence. We are happy with the gentlemanly way he responded to it. We want the IG to carry it further by telling us, look, all your conditions have been met. Many of the conditions have been met. But the critical one, women and their children are crying at home. Do you know what it means to a wife? If people come into your place like Gestapo policemen or Gestapo mercenaries and just wrench your husband from you as a wife, and then your child is watching the father being dragged out of the house as if he's a criminal, there's a psychological trauma. We are more concerned about all those ones than all the rhetorics. We're talking of 10. So we want those families to be mollified by them seeing their father return from Abuja. God knows where they are in Abuja. It's their word we have. We don't have concrete evidence that they are alive. Okay. We have to see that. The mandate the governor of the state has is to protect lives and property of Edo people and provide them welfare. America told Afghanistan during if you remember the not Afghanistan, Iraq, during Saddam Hussein, look, that the blood of one America is worth 600 of you people. And if you don't release those messages, you are coming for them. And then Saddam Hussein said, this is the mother of all war. That war was prosecuted in 42 days. 42 days. That regime was brought down and American hostages were freed. That's a nation that has respect for its citizens. That's the kind of society we are trying to build in Edo. We have deep respect for our citizens. So you don't think that 10 people don't matter. APC can play politics with the lives of those 10 people. It's a serious affair. It is irresponsible for anybody to expect us to paper over that and pretend that the lives of those people don't matter and then go ahead as if nothing is happening. That means you are not going to be protected tomorrow. So we want every Edo to feel that sense of protection for the responsible government that they have in place and from the responsible party that have brought out a responsible candidate. They must release those 10 people to us. If they have committed crime, we do not argue that you should not prosecute them. Prosecute them in the jurisdiction where the crime was committed. Maybe among the 10 of them, probably many of them have not even got to Abuja in their lifetime. And you take them to such harsh weather, and only God knows the inmates that you are mixing them with. Is it a crime for exercising their fundamental human rights or becoming members of a political party?
But with that particular action, do you think the objective has substantially been achieved? I mean, by that very strong statement, by not signing it, has really achieved it? Because you just confirmed to us that none of them has been released as of this very moment.
As of this moment, all the promises made, all the rhetorics remain rhetorics as far as we are concerned.
So
when they are
still happy with that decision?
We are not happy with it. That's what I'm telling you now. They expect us to say, treat these people like Nigeria treats its citizens ordinarily. The citizens' lives don't matter. Once a big man draws out a white paper and then gives you all sorts of meaningless rhetorics, we quickly double it. That is the mentality that is ruling Oshopole. That is why he thinks that if he climbs the rostrum to say things that are not acceptable and true, nobody will challenge it. But to our greatest embarrassment in Edo State, Small Rufai was telling a par on international and universal television, please fact check yourself, sir. Fact check yourself. I'm happy that the candidate of the PDP Dr. Aswa Iwedalu has slammed a 20 billion naira suit on Oshomole. And of course, this time, he has it coming. If he thinks he's the one that you will say, come and sit down, will sit down what? You said he's a member of Planware that ran, many people aground and some went to commit suicide because of the fraud of that criminal organization. There is nothing linking. In fact, he haven't heard of Planware until he started discussing it. And you stand in the public to say that. So we no longer take their word for it. If your word promises action, let us see the action.
Okay, just a quick one before we move on. At that grand rally on Saturday, Obaseki made a very strong statement, and which, like a validation of what people were suspecting before now by refusal to sign the peace accord, that this election is a do or die affair. So does that not validate what people have been suspecting, that PDP are in for war?
If you are in for war, you will prepare for war. When you are preparing for war, everybody will see your preparation.
So
nobody fights a war suddenly.
So
do we have any prelude in Edo State suggesting that we're going to fight on Saturday?
We're already seeing the
from the APC. That is what we are saying. If we had that prelude, we will sign the peace accord in hypocrisy, knowing that we have prepared for war. We will not expose Edo State to the world to say, watch us. So Obaseki spoke in context of situation. Language is used in context of situation.
For him to have made such a statement, I know that when Obaseki,
that's what I'm trying. That's why I'm.
2007.
Yes.
Many people.
Obaseki.
No, Obasanjo.
Okay.
Many people condemned him, and we saw what later played out
in 2007.
In 2000, when he was campaigning for Yar'Adua.
Yes.
So many are already saying that, okay, for this man to have made such a strong statement, he should have his battalion, battle ready.
Yeah, but that's why you brought me now, to come and clarify it. Isn't it? And now saying to you that the statement Obaseki made was made in context of situation. Language generates meaning in context of situation. So if you take the language out of the situation, it means a different thing. If you leave the language in a situation, it means a different thing. If you are an Edo person, as an Edo person, where do you think the statement came from? Edo not the carry last.
All right. In the past few weeks or thereabout, even prior to this election cycle, we've been seeing several defections, and of course, I think the climax of it was, I didn't really see that coming on Saturday, when Ali Mihina and Obede, Omorige Obede officially decamped to APC. I'm particular about Ali Mihina, because the last time out, PDP gave him the Edo North Senatorial tickets on a platter of gold. So what exactly is going on in PDP? Why are they leaving? Why are the big guns leaving PDP?
Is it Ali Mihina you are calling big gun? Somebody was a city senator and somebody just came and pushed him aside and took over his place. He's going back to his master, because he tried to stand without his master and he realized that he's not standing anywhere. So he's gone back to his master.
But he fought against his master in the last election.
You said because we gave him the ticket on a platter of gold. So if your father left a fortune for you and you could not manage it, it just shows the kind of son that you are. If you have something on the platter, we couldn't fight Oshomole with it. So it just tells you that you choose who you are. You choose whether to be a slave or you choose whether to be a master. Those who stand and fight, they eventually become masters. Is Oshomole going to be there forever? He doesn't know that this is an opportunity for him to have been his own master. That when we strip Oshomole away in the next coming election, he would have taken over. Esaka people are tired of Oshomole. But they cannot replace him. People like Ali Mihina are jumping up and down. So, but in any case, for every Ali Mihina that you mention the 10, 20, 30 in every word that decamps to the PDP. The big guns is just one vote. We are counting votes.
The same for APC.
I mean, how many went to APC? The people who went to APC, our retired dispensable leaders, who all went to APC and brought and took their no value there. You want to count 30 people decamping? An entire senatorial district leader collapsed the structure and moved into PD. I'm talking of Francis Negbeneki of Edo Central. In Ovia, in Onwa, everywhere, Aswa Iwedalu came down from the podium. People climbed the podium to announce their decamping to PDP. We have so depleted the numbers of the APC to the point now that when they were submitting names of agents, they didn't have enough people to submit. They now went to use the courts that ordered that they should submit names. So they would have submitted a lot of fictitious names now, or bought some people for them. They couldn't complete the agent list.
But,
it's as if they forgot.
But there's this particular fact which seems to be obvious.
Which is
the fact that people, because when you look at all these political heavyweights, in quotes now, virtually all of them, it's as if there is a conspiracy against Obaseki. And many are pointing to the fact that Obaseki is playing, it has, in terms of man management and then the kind of politics he plays, it's just like, okay, I am the commando, that's the type. And that's why his umbrella has not been able to accommodate other political bigwigs that would have been able to build strong PDP for him. So that's, when you look at the spiral of the campaign and the way people are just aligned and queuing behind APC, it's as if it's a gang up against Obaseki.
Good. The question is, what is the character of the gang ups? The gang ups are the ones who have left Nigeria and Edo State where it is now. They are people that the masses have been waiting to dispense. We're only very happy that they are being exited. We are bringing, it's a paradigm. What you said is true. In 2020 in this state, Obaseki introduced a new paradigm. That you, these leeches, who feed on the common patrimony of the people who have no jobs, who feed on your ego, please go and get job to do. Democratize the politics. Let the people lead. So what you now have is People's, which is the original name, Democratic Party.
But I think
hold on.
Okay.
People's Democratic Party. Those who are ganging up, each one has his own story of what he thinks has been denied him, that he was benefiting from the system, and has nothing he can show that he's producing into the system. So it's a productive economy we are running. That's the political economy of Obaseki. Productive politics, productive economics. So we are by no means worried about these people, because Philip Shaibu, for instance, who was deputy governor, as deputy governor sitting on the seat of deputy governor, with all the clout of deputy governor and all the money he's making as deputy governor, lost his unit, lost his ward, lost his local government. In fact, PDP lost that election by over 22,000 votes. Is it now that he's not sitting there that he will win the election? Ali Mikena was given a ticket and he could not garner even a quarter of the votes. So you are looking at people who are hangers on. And Obaseki does not take that. You have to be useful in the production chain. You're not contributing anything. They have held our psyche down for too long. And so we say leaders without qualification, generals without war. We need to begin to change the system. So Obaseki didn't call it a revolution, but it was a revolution. And we understood that revolution. That's why we are following him.
Let me just take quickly on that. Let's reflect on, let's go back to the memory lane.
Yes.
Prior to, I think, 2020 election, of course, we could say that Obaseki all along has been a product of APC. And then he had a fallout with Osomole, his godfather then. And then, of course, a particular party offered him the platform, not just himself now, and his deputy. And after they successfully won that election, and one would have expected that, okay, we are going to have a united party, a solidified party. But what has just few months down the line, he practically drove them away, the legacy PDP. So how do you just oppose that? Because it's just
the way I would just oppose a wife that you took to the altar, who promised to be a wife, and you went to the altar with the understanding of what wife means. And by the time he got to your house, somebody who is supposed to be your wife is telling you that in go build house for your papa, in go build house for your mama. As you are making plans for your family that you have set up, she has her own plans for her own family from where she came. Then you cannot meet those needs. So she fleds. And then are you now going to say you will blame the husband who understood what wife meant? Obaseki understands that governance is development. He understood that Oshomole will understand that. He didn't understand that Oshomole will expect him to be giving 3 million every quarter to each local government area, 1 million every month. Bring it down to the year, you have about 70 something million, and then translate it, you have about bring it down to the month, you have about 70 something million. Translate it to the year, you have about 78 billion. Obaseki does not understand that. Who are you giving that money to? Patronage. Obaseki does not understand that you have to have several fleets of cars and do weekend parties in government house every month, every weekend, and spend hundreds of millions buying champagnes to do that. He doesn't understand that. So he thought they understood what he meant when he said he was coming to govern. What they understood is the way they used to govern. Profligacy, wasting the people's money. Obaseki does not understand how a non-state actor that contributes nothing at all to the economy will come and celebrate having $1 billion, and because he's a friend of the governor. He doesn't understand that. Have they given you another paradigm to say, look, this is the paradigm Obaseki is operating, but this is a superior paradigm we have, which Obaseki refused to operate. That's why we are leaving him. Have they given you that paradigm? What people offer you hate, anger, bitterness, acrimony, without giving you solutions to problems? Then you know that you are dealing with a community of hateful people whose personal interests have been hurt. Obaseki said, this is my paradigm of governance. Let the Commonwealth go round. Let me develop State School of Nursing with the money. Let me convert Iyaro, which Oshomole presided over for 8 years, that was burnt under his regime. And we have a viral video of Phyllis Shaibu saying to Oshomole, you have not told the Edo people what happened to the Ministry of Education when your certificate was a question in the tribunal. Oshomole, you have not told people what happened to the Ministry of Education. That's very implicating. Obaseki rather put the money there. Today we have an education pedagogic complex of the best form, state of the art. Now, let me put it in central nursing school. We are producing the best nurses today in the country. We are running telemedicine program. Their neighbor there, Stella Abasanjo, 200-seater bed, first class, state of the art. Go there if I check all these things. We are soon going to upgrade to 500 beds. Then, School of Health Technology. That's the whole medical hub. This is the education hub. So Obaseki is hubbing the whole place. Go to our physical planning and see the wonders going on in EDOGIS, Edo Geographical Information System. Now, Edo Insurance Scheme has to be subsidized for it to be able to run smoothly. We are paying the highest salaries, and they are getting it on the 27th. The pension area they all presided over. All these people you are saying for 8 years presided over the suffering of your father and my father, my mother and your father. My mother died without seeing her pension. And many Edo women and many Edo men have died without seeing their pension. From 1984, not 94, Obaseki has paid all the pensions and is almost clearing all the gratuity. Okay. He needed to plug those holes to be able to serve the people. That is the simple fight.
Okay. In all of this, because we haven't really gathered from the legacy PDP, about their own side of the story. But those of us that are outside the corridor of power, like, okay, somebody gave you a platform to run. And on a very good day, you should expect, okay, since we are accepting you, look, we produce the deputy. But they kindly accepted 2 of them. And so some will now say, okay, maybe in the position of commissioners and then special advisors, at least there will be equal distribution of those appointments, at least compensate them. But we never saw something.
It appears that you have been listening to their lies. you said you are not in the corridors of. Yeah, so I was saying that the people are the owners of the party. The people gave the platform to Obaseki. The people are still with Obaseki, and the platform is still for Obaseki. And the platform now has been given to Aswe by the people.
Who are the people?
The people of Edo State that are members of the People's Democratic Party. We own the platform. If we say you are our candidate by election in the primaries, we have given you the mandate. So when the people give you the mandate, a few people should not cash on that mandate to say Obaseki behind the people, give us money. And we won't know what is happening. Obaseki will be giving you money. And then you remain there forever. These people that you are saying, they were there forever and could not produce a governor for Edo State.
Well, they've done that between 2000 and between 1999 and of course 2008.
7. And since
Otumbo was there.
yes, and since then, could they win any election? Oshomola was winning 18/18 and so on and so forth. So we gave the platform to Obaseki. Obaseki brought his popularity and his panache and brought the governorship.
So, in your own opinion, now, you
Yes.
feel that the legacy PDP did not really make any impact in that election?
If you enter a party within a short time, as Obaseki enters the party, and Ghana, the number of votes, how many is PDP in the whole state? Even till now, how many are we? You don't know that we beat the opposition with 84,000 votes. That tells you that the people of Edo State are the one who voted.
Okay,
So-
there's another factor that played at
Yes.
that election, and that was war against Godfather.
That's what I am saying.
War against-
That was
It
when
was
the
more
conscious.
like- It was more like, okay, we have the mega of PDP legacy bringing their heavyweight, and then of course you should expect sympathizers.
Not sympathizers.
Sympathizers
Sympathizers is not the
and then
word.
we had people.
Sympathizers is not.
Say no. Oshomola is enough for him.
Good.
It's like a sympathy vote, not as if maybe
It's not a sympathy vote, it's an awareness vote. That was when Edo people's eyes opened to the fact that the praising we are praising Oshomola, he has called us fools. We Edo, we tell him that we know what we are doing. We chose our leaders.
So with this depleted squad now, what's the chances of your party winning the election?
The Edo people are not depleted now. We have even increased in population. The youth, which is the larger voting public, that were all born, have now turned 18, they have all registered. This is the greatest registration, the largest number of registration we have had in the over 2 million. Okay. And then we just pray that the turnout to be high. And go and ask all those youths, they are the ones in social media. Their awareness is high. Because when Obaseki started, they could sell all these their stereotype stories. But when people started to see State School of Nursing, they started to see, I just listened to, what's his name, Fayoshe's brother. He said, the only governor, say even governors will be seen that they make mouths, where they get oil, where they exploit for their plates in the Niger, that they cannot produce one refinery. But this man managed 2 refineries. You think people are blind? We have ethanol factory. You think people are blind? We have 8 farms functioning, palm oil farms, just that they are not grown yet. But their Saro farm is here, Saturn is here, Duffield is here, Fayus from America is here. These are all created by Obaseki for Edo's future.
So you believe Obaseki has done excellently that this Ighodalo can consolidate on?
I believe that in terms of where we want to go, Obaseki has stayed the course. He has not deviated. Now, by doing that, he laid foundation. Ighodalo is coming to expand that foundation and build a superstructure on it. If we don't allow Ighodalo to continue, these men who don't understand, you can see that you've been trying to play the devil advocate for them now. What has been going on now is a paradigm context. That whether you are trying to find out that they must have something, but you've not been able to give me dialectically anything of substance, apart from emotions and feelings of ego being hurt, and then a sense of ownership and sense of entitlement that we gave. You didn't give. It's an institution. The PDP is an institution. It's not your personal property. So, and that's what is ruining our country. And that's why they think that if an IGP just comes to there and say we should just take their word for it. No, that is where the enlightenment comes in. It's an enlightened set of Edo people that these people are dealing with.
And you are having the feeling that you coast home to victory.
Not feeling.
Okay.
Evidence.
Let's look at
that we will coast home to victory.
Let's look at the evidence now.
Yes.
In Edo North, they will tell you it's no-go area for PDP. In Edo Central, they will tell you the power of EQ Bensi will work for Ukmebulu. And then, of course, in Edo South here, where ordinarily you should expect that PDP will garner a lot of votes, you have the labor that are seriously grounded. So, where do you intend to get the victory?
First, I just told you when I was talking earlier that the Esan leaders, representative of the Esan race and culture, adopted the Ighodalo. So just remove Ukmebulu from Esan. No Esan will give their votes to Okpebholo, apart from members of his immediate family, some of which are not even following him. Now, Okpebholo has lost all the local government in Esan land. That's the block. I know as I sit here that even Oshomole will tell you now that he cannot enter Onwa or Akoko Edo. And even in his Esako enclave, he cannot boast too much about Auchi, which has 4 wards. So he could be looking to his Uzare. I won't deny him that. I don't know what will happen in Okbela, which is Esako Southeast, and again Ebode. So Oshomole cannot give you that confidence. Then coming to Edo South, Okpebholo is not even known in Edo South. Because Edo South is the largest.
He has his running mate, who is also a grassroots politician.
And with also a grassroots information that people have about him. So it's not known here. And Edo South people, they are the most enlightened, politically advanced people in Edo State. We give their vote to Boju Boju, a man that could not talk to them, that they don't know. They want to be in control in Edo South. You don't come and control them by proxy. Oshomole, who has expired, who have so much baggage, insulting Nesama, raining Pastor Ezeyamu, fighting Obaseki that he brought, has so much baggage in Edo South. It won't enter here. So Edo South have made up their mind that the greatest followership we have organically is Edo South, Akoko Edo. So this man is going to be reduced to his Esako lord that he is, and not the whole Esako. I can bet my bet on that. So when they are saying they will do this, what strength? Edo South people will not vote for an anonymous candidate. We have been begging you, come to television, talk to the Edo South people. You didn't talk. That's why Godalo's father's house is in Global. Father's hotel is called Global. It's in Upper Mission. Family house is in the Kweniro. That's why they don't know that he was playing ball at Edokpolo College. I've met those who played football with him on the field. That's why Godalo himself. They say he's a very good footballer. He was playing, but I've met those who played football with him in Edokpolo Grammar School. It's a new Benin boy. So he has roots here. Okpebholo is a just boy. Go and ask Don Pedro. We tell you that the father's house and his father's house are on the same street where you have the father's hotel and Don Pedro's father's house are on the same street where you have the Global Hotel. So he's a root person here. Okay. And now, so where do they say they are going to bring the vote for? Edo will not vote for an anonymous candidate. Okpebholo is anonymous. Oshomole is the one that comes to everybody's sleep when you're talking of candidates. And unfortunately, Oshomole is not in the ballot.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. So your parting shot?
My parting shot is that people should not be afraid. People should pour out. Because those people are our supporters. What they wanted to do is to keep them away from it. They should pour out. I've just sent an article round that Edo people should not be afraid to come out on Saturday. They should pour out and come and vote. And let us overwhelm them. Because we are hoping to, at least triple their votes.
Mr. Chris Ojekere for coming to our studio.
And thank you.
And we really have a very thrilled moment with you.
Thank you so much.
Of course, that is the size of our package on this very interesting program, Political Insights. And of course, that's where we are going to draw the curtain. And of course, we are going to have more of this edition as time goes by. Thank you very much for joining us, and do enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you for having me.